shit crazy.
Who's batshit crazy?
Me.
We're not supposed to swear in the first 5 minutes.
Well, we
That's
screwed
all
up
right.
already.
It's all right. I was trying to. Vera, you guys, you just missed it. Vera was kind of going off, and I was trying to like sneak attack it and hit that live button.
I know how to press Vera's buttons, and it's fun.
You know, with this administration, I am always this far from a rant. I was driving through Elbridge tonight, looking at all the Trump signs, screaming at people. You idiot.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. So I'm here. Did we miss much? Vera, you haven't gone off yet, have you?
She started
a little bit.
She started a little bit, but we slowed her down.
You did. You put a. I don't want to say a muzzle.
We just got to pace her.
That's got some like racial connotations, Luke.
Oh, does it really?
Look, I'm just. Listen.
Oh,
wait. How did I get there?
I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Because I hate the music teacher so much. Cheers to you, bitch. Here, look at there's musical notes on the wine glass. That's for you, honey.
Well, she's gonna die tonight.
Choke on your cello.
This bitch, look, she's she's on
no.
the wine.
I've got a few of the teachers. They love to watch the show, and like the one came to the stand-up act, and it was so bad, and I was like going off, and I was like, "Oh, CPS will be here on Monday." Like, no. And she ended up working with Aiden, so I love her. She's awesome. She was a good time. She was a good sport.
She was a good time.
Yeah,
she was a good time.
Yeah, because I kept like going.
Hey, listen, Jeff has said he dabbles in the vagina once in a while. So
not recently.
Right?
Yeah.
Speaking of dabbling, are you going to like tell us about the nice old lady that needs help? So Gloria,
yeah, that's a great segue.
Dilapidated house.
Wow.
Oh, the guy.
That was a sweet, feel-good story.
The guy.
Here we go.
Yeah.
See, John, he's hot.
Yeah. So he's like doing a fundraiser to repair her house. So he's an electrician. Tell us the story, Jeff, because I've read it, but I know that you.
Oh, I just thought he was hot. No, I'm kidding. So what happened was he got called to do some electrical work and saw that this house was in shambles and thought he could do more. So he showed back up and did a bunch of work on his own and then got the local community involved. They started a GoFundMe page. And now, like, the whole community in their area is involved. People are donating supplies, their time, they're cooking for all the workers, and they're, like, redoing this whole woman's house. Plumbing, electrical, you name it. And there's the link right there where you can go and donate. Yeah, it's such an amazing.
It's just not a nice link. It's like a whole heap of stuff, but that's exactly what they've got because they obviously haven't commercialized it or anything. They've just got the page there.
Just look
on our Facebook. Like on our page, we've got the nice old lady that needs help. And I think it's great that people are kind and doing things out of genuine kindness. Like he's not getting nothing out of this. No one else is getting anything out of this. It's just to be kind to somebody that needs help.
I think that's what's missing right now. I think that's what the world is on fire and we're not seeing the kindness that we need.
Absolutely.
There are nice people.
Well, my favorite part of the story was he said like she was having a hard time adjusting to all the people there. Because she lived alone for like 10 years or whatever at 72.
Well, it does look like a very reclusive place.
She's become like family to him and his wife and his daughter. And I thought that was so sweet, like.
And it's awesome. Probably what she needed, whether she realized it or not. When you're lonely, loneliness kills people. And, just to have someone reach out and be kind to you, I think means a lot in this life. It really does.
And to have your whole house redone by the
Actually,
community,
Mother Teresa said that was the biggest problem in the world today was loneliness.
Absolutely.
Is she still alive?
No,
she's not.
She didn't live this long.
Checked out.
And I think she's actually pretty problematic herself. But
yeah,
Mother Teresa. Oh,
a little bit.
All right, SJW. What's wrong with Mother Teresa? I missed that.
Limits are uncensored.
I missed the memo. What did SJW? What did she do?
Didn't she have a little bit of the racism?
I don't know. She was deep in Calcutta. She had to be able to deal with multicolored people.
Ugh.
She was Italian, though Italians can be epically.
Only from the comfort of our own house. I'm kidding.
I can't. My friend wrote this really in-depth article about how problematic she was, and I read it, but of course, in one ear, right out the other, because I can't.
You
I
can't
can't
cite it.
I just can't like remember things like I used to. Blame it on my kids. Blame it on just getting older. Blame it on a lot of alcohol these past few
Well,
months. I don't
speaking
know.
of
Blame it
dead,
on
Katie, I did Cruella for you.
that is barely Cruella.
I was
You
thinking
let me
more
down.
Barely?
like Lady
Barely.
from Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp. Which one
Like,
am I?
You got like purple hair. You're Lady.
Purple.
It's
It looks-
that's like
Listen.
that's platinum, and he probably
Okay.
paid a lot for it.
On my screen, it looks on purpose.
That's
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Dwarf.
Buffy's little Sailor Moon costume.
Oh yes,
Oh, that was
so
amazing. She
cute.
is excited. She's Sailor Moon. She's got the hair pieces coming. She wants me to spray her hair
Aw.
yellow. She's keen for it all. So I have
That's
to be
adorable.
Tuxedo Mask though. So I'm Tuxedo Mask this Halloween. Yay!
Doesn't dye that hair, girl.
I'm just wearing them. Doesn't he wear a hat? I can't remember. I
He's
was
got black
not.
hair.
Believe it or not, I wasn't a big Sailor Moon fan. So, you know.
I
Oh,
wasn't
those
either.
guys?
Spray as well. I'll just
The
spray
rose
mine. If she's
guy?
spraying hers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rose guy.
Yeah, didn't he wear a hat? Maybe.
yeah.
I thought he did.
Like a
But she's
fedora
like,
or
Daddy, will
something?
you be Tuxedo Mask? I'm like,
I think he
yes,
has top
Daddy
hat.
will be Tuxedo
Okay.
Mask. So nostalgia. Oh, another segue. I'm just onto it tonight, aren't I? All right, Steve, this one's yours because this was your topic.
I got excited, okay. So yeah, Hulu are bringing back Animaniacs, guys. I'm excited about it. Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain actually are both coming back for a new season on Hulu.
But they're bringing back everything. They're bringing back
Yeah.
He-Man. They're bringing back everything from like most of our generations.
Ren and Stimpy's coming back. There's a Daria spin-off coming out. There's
Do you think
lots
it's just
stuff
sort of
coming back.
distract
look like
from how
shit.
bad the world is right now?
I think so. Well, I think it's the power of the millennial, right? Where they're looking for stuff that they grew up and felt comfortable with to,
I think you've got
feel
millennials
comfortable
all
with this
wrong, friend.
crazy world.
We crave death. We crave
We
death.
crave death.
I don't
We
know.
crave death. Nope. We've
I
given up.
know
We've given up on happiness, and we crave death.
the three parents of small children on the top. Yeah.
We crave death.
We do, but we also have this obligation to stay alive.
I didn't say I wanted my kids dead. I said I wanted myself dead.
Every
But we
morning
have
I
an
wake up
obligation
and
to
I'm
stay
sad.
alive. To
Wow.
care for them.
Kind of
Yeah,
goes
that's
with
where
the
I
whole
go.
parenthood
So
thing.
yeah, bring on Animaniacs, bring on Ren and Stimpy.
No.
Okay, well, guess what, Vera? We've cleared the 5-minute mark. So
Oh, good.
who do you want to
late.
start with?
I will start anywhere you want me to.
Here we go. We'll just bring this one straight up.
Just go.
Oh, God.
Okay, so a jarring new report from The Atlantic claims that the Trump campaign is discussing potential strategies to circumvent the results of the 2020 election. Should Joe Biden defeat Donald Trump by first alleging the existence of rampant fraud and then asking legislators in the battleground states where the Republicans have a legislative majority to bypass the state's popular vote and instead to choose electors loyal to the GOP and the sitting president? Okay, Vera, the floor is yours.
Oh, I don't even know if I can rant about this. This is part of my daily existential terror. That this has gone too far, that no matter how many millions of us turn out to vote this motherfucker out, he's already got the ace up his sleeve and he's not going anywhere. And we're in Hitler's Germany. It's hard not to live there right now. I fear this man so badly.
Do you think, in all honesty, Vera, do you think Trump will win the next election?
Not fairly. He didn't win the last one.
I have a feeling, and I just feel this as an Australian, and just how everything's portrayed here, I just really feel that he's going to take the election. I know Angel said she feels the same. Katie has said that she feels that it's very likely too. Like,
well, it's not impossible. I mean, the Electoral College is stacked in his favor. It always has been, and at this point, our country is so ridiculously gerrymandered that, and when you think about the fact that Wyoming is a state of 500,000 people, and they have 2 electors to the Electoral College, because that number was set 1 million years ago, and New York has like 19 million people and only 19, it makes every vote in Wyoming worth twice what the New York vote is. It's a rigged system, but it's not rigged against Trump. It's rigged for Trump. And he's got the Russians working on his side, and his followers are rabid. They are violent. They are ready to kill us.
But I think your country's so polarized right now. Like, you've got rabid people on both sides.
You do not have Democrats running over protesters anywhere in this country.
True.
And Black Lives Matters protests that turn violent, 2/3 of them can be linked to white supremacist agitators deliberately inciting violence to make the Black Lives Matter movement look bad. And it's something that the mainstream media is not covering, but it's something that's been proven again and again. The guy who set fire to Wisconsin when George Floyd died, there's photographs of him walking around, breaking out windows. He's a white man in black mask with a black umbrella. And there's one member of the BLM following him around saying, "Why are you doing this? We don't want to be violent. Stop doing this." And he's got a crowbar and he's smashing out windows. And, it's not as violent on the left as it is on the right. The right are geared for violence. And that's the part that's scary. There are right extremists that are picketing early voting booths in Virginia. They're out there screaming at people. And the people in line are saying point blank, this is really scary. It's not an equal amount of intimidation. It's being portrayed as an equal polarization, but it is not. We are 2/3 of the country. For every democratic initiative for, healthcare, for education, for equal wage, 60 to 70% of the country is on board with those platforms, but 30% of the country are controlling the narratives. It's scary as shit, and we could already be sinking into Hitler's Germany.
Do you think that's a big problem now, though, too, that all these positive, platforms are being completely drowned out by all the noise of all the other crap that's going on?
Absolutely.
And, people aren't focusing on the important stuff anymore.
72 people who believe that police violence is out of control. But every time they see a riot at a Black Lives Matter protest, they get crazy and say, nope, they've gone too far. Once you start looting, you lose all your rights. They might as well be run over by a car. It turns off the moderates who were on board, and it's intentional. I mean, I'm terrified. And part of me says it's my complete responsibility to speak up and make this stuff known because the mainstream media is not covering it, but the other part of me is like terrified. Am I making myself a target for these extremists?
Exactly. That's what's scary. And I think, and that's sad that you're in a free country where you're afraid to be a voice, isn't it?
Yeah, I never thought in all of my lifetime that my country would ever be in this place, and the thing that makes me crazy is that so many of the norms that this country was run on, the peaceful transition of power, the ability to nominate, from each party's ability to nominate justices to the floor, the ability to move legislation forward. 400 bills are sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk, bills that talk about safeguarding the election, bills that talk about wage equality, bills that talk about education and healthcare. 400 bills are sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk, and he refuses to bring them to the Senate floor because he has no interest in seeing any of those bills become law. And Mitch McConnell holds all the re-election money for all those Republican senators, and he's looking them dead in the face and saying, you vote the way I tell you, or you get no re-election money. It's gotten to the point where all these things we thought were law were just gentlemen's agreement, and the people in power are not gentlemen. They're not honorable in any way, shape, or form.
Honey.
They are destroying our Constitution, and they're destroying our representative democracy. And 30% of the people are running around going, yeah, make the libs cry.
Well, Jeff, a lot of the 30% are there, aren't they? Like,
Well,
you
no, my thing is that she said Mitch McConnell ain't even human, girl. So I'm saying, like, he ain't nobody man. He looks like he came from, like, another planet, like some shit straight out of Men in Black. Like, his eyeballs, so you could tell he's a heavy drinker because you could see all those veins. You know what I'm saying? Like, his eyeballs just scare the shit out of me. He's what nightmares are made of.
He scares the shit out of me. I like I said, I live in existential terror. I've been going around, I'm doing my job, I'm laughing with my patients, and all of a sudden it's like, holy fuck, we could be in a fascist state in any minute.
Vera, she said, holy fuck.
Oh,
Actually, Vera, your whole rant, you never swore once. You were great. You were very, very professional, to the point, just bang, bang, bang. But Jeffrey, you know, you were saying though, like obviously, what's the consensus in New York State? Is it's a more democratic state, right?
I'm not in New York at the moment, but
I know
New York,
that, but no, I was getting to that, girl.
New York is historically bipolar. You have downstate New York City, very metropolitan, many people living in a very concentrated area. And when you have huge urban areas, people learn to get along. You figure out really quickly that your neighbor next door may be gay, but he makes a hell of a pie and he's good enough to be, you know, next door. Whereas Northern New York, or upstate, as we call it, is very, very rural. And you've got people spread out, and you got aging tractors with big, huge Trump flags on them, and you got good old boys in trucks with Trump flags driving down the street saying, make the liberals cry. But the majority of the population is downstate and controls the state. So the Democrats are downstate.
Do you know, like, look, I found like upstate New York is a lot less conservative than where I live here in Australia, like in Queensland, because I'm like in central Queensland. It's a very conservative area and very anti a lot of stuff. So when I found I was over there, I found I was a lot more free. Like, you know, when we would go out to clubs and that, even in Auburn, I didn't feel
no clubs.
afraid. Oh, whatever they were, bars.
A bar?
Bars.
Yeah, we went to bars. I didn't feel though. I didn't feel concerned.
You're
Whereas
welcome.
I felt concerned here every time.
That was me and my friends in the 80s. We did that for you guys.
Thanks, Bubs. Look, we've lost Katie because I really wanted Katie to talk about the next topic. It sort of leads on from this. But I guess this is yours again, Vera.
Okay. Oh, my sweetheart, RBG. Oh, my heart breaks. I have teared up a couple times over her passing. Apart from the loss of the moderate liberal voice on the Supreme Court, she was such an icon to women's rights in this country. The fact that women can have their own credit history, can get a mortgage in their own name, the fact that they can make their own decisions about their health care without their husbands or their fathers, that's all Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And she was such a genius the way she crafted things. She before she even became a federal judge, years before she landed on the Supreme Court, she presented 5 landmark cases to the Supreme Court that are still cited to this day in equality. And she was so brilliant in the way that she crafted them. She crafted them from the male's point of view. They were cases where a husband was denied his wife's death benefits, her Social Security benefits, because he made more than 50% of the income in the family, so he was ineligible. There was another one where a husband was denied property credit, tax credit.
She had to make the ones in power scared.
The
ones who held the power.
She used the inequitable representation of men, whereas men were left raising children without a mother. They needed that added income so that they could pay for childcare. So she used that against the law to make the law null and void. And because she was able to use those very cleverly crafted arguments, she was able to make monumental changes in very small ways. And one of my favorite RBG quotes is, stand up for what you believe in, fight for what you believe in, but do it in a way that make others want to fight with you. By taking these landmark cases.
Do you have any wiser words, really?
Yeah, and she was brilliant. She was an advocate. One of my favorite interviews, she talked about Roe v. Wade, which is a big concern right now. The conservatives want to overturn Roe v. Wade. And what she said is the way the case was crafted, that it was a question of privacy, too vulnerable to be attacked. She said, when you're building the limbs of the argument, you have to make sure they're stable. It could have been taken apart and presented as 5 different cases. So the privacy was only one part of the aspect. So equality was part of the aspect. So that humanity, she wanted it to be 5 smaller pieces than one big piece. And it was just brilliant. She was brilliant. The world is going to miss RBG. And
I think so too, because, she's done a lot. And what do you think about this article that we posted just earlier? So I'll read it. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Democrats unlikely to stop Republicans from replacing her prior to the election. Democrats without a majority in the Senate need to rely on 4 Republicans to switch sides to stop it happening. Democrats secured 2 Republicans quickly, but since the senators most likely to flip have slowly confirmed they plan to replace Ginsburg. Trump plans to make the announcement who his nominee will be by this weekend. And how do we all feel about that?
Well, part of that problem is the right to live. There are people of those 6 Republicans that might have flipped, all 6 are in very heated, contested senatorial races this year. They're afraid of alienating voters. But Mitt Romney has always been a right to life person. That's core with his religious beliefs. Cory Gardner is just a heartbeat away from Trump. He's not going to oppose. It's not unknown that these senators were probably not going to flip. The question is, if we can get to the other side of this election and regain the Senate, then what do we do to keep this court from steamrolling conservative agendas?
Exactly.
They all need to learn to go back, or they need to go back to preschool to learn to play nice.
Exactly.
It's just ridiculous. No stimulus bill?
Well, how many millions of dollars went to companies that weren't hurting because of COVID? Billionaires in this country gained
Kanye.
while the rest of the country lost wealth. Our country's broken. I love my country. Lots of people will tell you I don't, but broken. It's heartbreaking. And if this election is stolen from us, it may not be recoverable.
I feel like Ruth got it right. She kind of knew the secret to men that they're like linoleum. You lay them right the first time, you can walk all over them for years. But the best part was she didn't have to lay them. She just, got a better quality product. And they were too stupid to know any of the wiser.
Well, another Ruth Bader Ginsburg quote that's really classic is, "My mother taught me to be a lady." And that means being independent and in control of yourself at all times. She had an amazing marriage. I mean, this is a story that I learned after she died, and a lot of the other stuff I knew before. But her husband was very ill with cancer as well. And one of the last times he came out of the hospital before he passed, he was the primary housekeeper. He did all the cooking, even though he was a very accomplished tax attorney in the DC area. He did all the cooking and the majority of the child rearing, and he was a very liberated man. But he said to her when he got home from the hospital, "I really want to make you dinner, but I'm not sure I can stand." She said, "Well, I got your back." And she helped him walk into the kitchen, and she propped him up with her own weight, and she's like 102 pounds. I got to pick that up. I'm sorry. She's like 102 pounds, and she wedged herself against the counter and held him up with her back against his back so he could cook her dinner. And I just think it's a horrible story.
I would have got him like a tall chair, you know what I mean?
Or a cook. I mean, they could have afforded a cook. So,
Yeah, but he wanted to be the cook. Like, I get that. Like,
I think it's beautiful because, we're in 2020 and we're still surrounded by such really backward views, like we're all capable of doing so much, yet we have these really enforced stereotypes on how society should run. And, you've got there's still the belief there, even though women are expected to work now, but they're still also expected to be the homemaker. And,
I was thinking about that the other day. I was thinking,
blame the Catholics.
No, it's not about the Catholics. It's about the slow erosion of the middle class. Women aren't given the opportunity to stay home. Most parents will tell you they need both incomes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the minimum wage has slowly eroded, and those union jobs that used to allow dad to go to work and mom to do the housekeeping have evaporated. And most families don't have the option of one parent staying home.
But Jeff, what's the first thing you get asked when you say you've got kids? What's the first thing? Be honest.
Where's my wife? Where's mom?
Where's the mother?
Yeah.
What's your wife think about this? What does and then when I say, "Oh, well, look,
don't they need a mother?"
And that just spins people out because they want to know why a mother isn't with their child, and I'm just like, well, no one questions a mother usually why the father isn't there because I guess
they do. The question is always, did he leave you? Or are you one of those? There's questions.
Oh, Jesus.
Children by themselves.
Well, I've had a few just very confronting conversations with very rude people that have said terrible things to me. And you know what? There's sometimes been people in my care. I don't talk about work much, but I've had, people from an older generation tell me that what I'm doing to my child is very selfish, very destructive, very cruel. And
so
I've heard
you use hairspray on your child?
No, I didn't use any today. Look,
no, on your child, on Buffy.
Oh,
they must know
absolutely I have to. She's a dancer. God.
This bitch. That's what they're talking about. They ain't talking about you being a fruitcake.
No, but people are being nasty and and they believe it. I had one lady even say to me too, and she was saying it in a nice way. She wasn't being nasty. She said, your child will always carry that burden through their whole life. And I just thought, far out. Really? I'm like, we don't live in 1950 anymore. The world's so diverse and different. Most people my age or younger, the parents completely embrace what's going on here. Mm-hmm. And I'm fine with it. But, I always feel that. It's always here in me. And when I hear that stuff, you know what? It hurts me. because
Well-
I don't want people looking down on my child because of their beliefs that they hold about the world.
The younger you go, the more liberal we are. You know, the people. I mean, I spent 15 years of my career in geriatrics, and I dealt with horrible ugliness from old people, and I kind of learned to shrug it off and say, well, they're old. But now my friends keep saying that excuse doesn't work anymore, Vera, because the old people are 70 and they grew up in the 60s and they all should know better.
Exactly. I mean,
I find that it's more people my age in that generation because, you know, I went to Catholic school my whole life, so there's a bunch of those folks around, and they always have some kind of shit to say. And I'm like, bitch, what didn't you have your first baby out of wedlock and then you stole somebody else's husband? And you now got 6 kids with?
Now, I know
No.
I'm kind of jumping in here, but let me
Joanne.
Katie, you're back.
let me see if I'm catching the drift of this. Are you talking about Trump supporters and how people try to excuse them by saying they're
No.
from a different
Well,
time?
No,
In a roundabout way,
we're done
we're
with
talking
Trump.
about single-parent families and the conservatives who abuse them.
Well,
Well,
just
let's-
look at our post.
Well,
Perfect
yeah, thank you,
example.
Wait, what
Yeah.
were we talking about?
Single-parent families and the
Oh.
old conservative values that look down on single-parent families.
Yeah, and they more or less insinuate that there's no way you can possibly give that child a fully, you know, wholesome, grounded upbringing because you lack, you know, the other person's genitalia.
look at one of the.
Okay.
One of the most,
Look. You got the biggest pussy on this stage right now.
Well, the way I
Huge.
feel about it is I know a lot of single parents, you know, 2 of them on panel. And I feel like
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
And-
that was
and-
us. Wait.
and I feel like a lot of my single parent friends are better parents than the ones that are still married and they're miserable and they make their kids miserable. I mean, sometimes you just got to think about like what's better for these children to grow up with. One parent who's going to provide them with love and affection and support and stability, or do you want to constantly watch these 2 people who clearly hate each other, who are clearly miserable themselves, in some cases abusive to each other, and maybe they'll put it on the kids? What would you rather have?
I didn't know we were talking about my parents tonight. Those sons of bitches hate each other.
My parents split when I was 15.
I tried to get them to split.
All I can remember is everybody's like, "Oh, Vera's parents are splitting up," and I'm like,
Yeah, because you were that older generation too.
"So
Vera.
relieved, the fighting has stopped." You know, I was 15 years old, and it's like, that's over.
Seriously, just, you know, why are you going to put everyone through it just to say we stuck it out for the kids? You didn't do shit for those kids except maybe traumatize them.
That was
Yeah.
like my grandparents. He finally put a cap in her ass and then one in his, man. And the
God,
fighting
Jeffrey.
finally
You
fucking
had to find
stopped.
some way to bring the conversation there.
Like, thank God. Like, it was so
No.
about time. Yes, it's like just 2 1. You get it all done. Well, they decided to have the funeral together. I still don't understand that. We get into conversations down here with all these rednecks.
But when did they decide? It was before he murdered her, right?
No, he shot her in the head, then killed himself.
He killed himself.
Yes, but they
It was
decided
murder
to have the
suicide.
funeral together. Well, who decided?
Their wake was together. They were in the same room. Their caskets next to each other. I was like, "This is the
But who
trashiest
decided
thing."
that? Obviously, they did it because they're
It was
dead.
it was the siblings because they were losing their mind. They were all fighting, and I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not having no. I didn't post nothing. They wanted me to share a GoFundMe page. I'm like, this humiliating. Like, no. And then I realized I can use it to get out of a speeding ticket, and it kind of became a beneficial thing.
Jeffrey, that's terrible.
Hey,
That
yeah,
is terrible.
Absolutely
What did
expected,
your grandmother
but
teach you?
terrible.
Somebody gives you lemons, make lemonade. I spiked mine with vodka. It's fine.
What did I come
God.
back to?
Well, you missed this, Katie. I'm going to bring her
You
back
missed
up
my
quickly
beautiful
because you
RBG
wanted to speak
review.
about her.
Bring me
So I'm
up
going
to
to bring her
speed.
back up. Here, you want to
My
you want to
queen,
speak
my
about
queen.
yes.
I mean, she is not without her downfalls, but the things that she was a trailblazer for sure. I mean, for starters, she started law school at Harvard. She was one of 9 women in a class of 500, and that itself was pretty amazing. She dropped out of Harvard to go to Columbia to support her husband, who got a job in New York, and then she graduated at the top of her class in Columbia. So she's not doing too bad. You know,
She actually was approached by a dean at Harvard who said, "Aren't you ashamed of taking a spot from a man?"
that was in our movie. That was
Yes,
in the
it
movie.
was in the
I want to
But,
know.
Oh,
who's
and I
getting
just
the
want
brooch
to
collection.
say, y'all got to watch On the Basis of Sex because it
Yes.
is a spectacular, spectacular movie, and the actors that play Marty and Ruth Bader Ginsburg are just like spot on. They're perfect. They're perfect.
I read an article just this week after her death about how it was Marty who got her the Supreme Court seat. They were living in DC. She was a federal court judge at the time, and he was a prominent tax attorney, as I mentioned earlier. And he's the one, when that opening came up, that decided they should consider Ruthie.
I want a Marty. I mean, Kyle's great, but man, I want a Marty Ginsburg. That guy is just like his wife's number one. Well, was his wife's number one fan. He was awesome.
You just want to be able to say, I'm married to Marty, the one man party. We know.
Oh my God, that's a fucking throwback. Jesus. Back on topic, she was also the first Jewish female Supreme Court justice.
Yep.
And she is one of 4 women on the court still. You know, we got a long way to go, baby. We're still working on this. She was the second female professor at Rutgers, which is impressive. And she started her career of fighting for women's rights by fighting for equal pay as a professor at Rutgers. So this fight that we're in to get equal pay now, we can thank partly to Ruth Bader Ginsburg because she paved the way for us to do so.
We're still not getting equal pay.
You want to know
We're
what's
not, but
bringing up
we're-
equal pay?
we're
We
getting
were
there, man.
down
We're getting
there
closer.
burning her old paperwork, and she brought up that she had been with the, and it was her tax returns and stuff. So we're going over them, and she was talking about how she'd been at the company longer than her husband, and she was getting less money. And because once they got married, she could see it. She went to HR. She got herself a raise. But, she's like, it's not women get paid less. She had been there longer. She was making less than the men.
Well, one of
And
Ruth Bader Ginsburg's most
2000.
landmark cases was Ledbetter versus Goodyear, maybe, or some tire company, where Ruth Ledbetter had been a member of the staff and a valued member of the staff, and brought in millions to the company, and found out that she was making way less than her male counterparts. That was
all
one of
comes down to the
Now-
patriarchy, if I'm not stealing Sandy's line.
Yeah,
Um,
don't you
you
take
know-
Sandy's lines.
Well, Sandy talks about the patriarchy, and it sort of leads into this next story about, what was going on down in New South Wales here.
I feel like we can't properly discuss this without Sandy. This is Sandy.
Oh, well, this Sandy
I said,
can
this is
come on and
Sandy
comment on this
all
because I
over.
know it's infuriated her.
I know
Okay,
it
but
did. I
Not
know-
Sandy.
No, not our Sandy.
Now, Sandy would never get fired up over the patriarchy.
Not
Anyway,
Be like
Private
me getting
boys
fired
still-
up over a music teacher.
You get fired
fuck
up
up.
over the pettiest shit. Don't compare it to the patriarchy. You petty bitch.
Okay, am I reading this, kids? Private boys still has muck-up day plans exposed. Imagine how you would feel if your son was partaking in any of the following activities, or let alone even being part of a culture
Wait,
where this
time
type
out.
of behavior.
Time out.
Yes.
I need some cultural translation, please. What is a muck-up day?
Muck-up day is like a day at school. Yeah, you go for it, Stevie. You're on camera.
It's like a prank day. So you get a list of things to do, and the people who complete the list of tasks win.
Usually it's stuff like mud fights or water bomb fights or something like that.
Okay.
It's like your end of school tradition kind of thing. So
all right.
Like your last days of school, you kind of basically destroy the place.
Oh, nice.
All right. So this was their challenges. Shit on a train. Break into Taronga Zoo. Drink 6 vodka cruisers in 6 minutes. Scull 700 mils bottle of vodka. That'll kill you. Spit on a homeless man. Get arrested. Must go to the police station in cuffs. Kiss an Asian chick. Have sex with a woman who weighs over 80 kilograms, is aged over 40, or one who is deemed 3 out of 10 or lower. These were just some of the plans for the muck-up day that were thwarted once the document entitled The Tri-Wizard Shawnament was discovered and the North Sydney school got police involved. Consequences for any boys who do participate will be severe and could include the loss of their place at the school, as spokesman said. What do you guys think about that?
I would break it. I'd do it.
3 words. Rich white people.
I mean, that's always the case. But anyway.
Rich white men.
It's
Rich white men.
Entitled people.
Listen, guys. Whenever you hear any sort of fuckery, if you ever hear any sort of fuckery like that, is it ever anything but white people? Honestly,
I'm really upset that they only had to sleep with a fat woman and an old woman and not a guy.
No, why would they do that?
Like,
I love to hear your logic on that.
Jeff's like, where's my love in that?
Let me go set up a booth.
Jeff, it could be a Catholic school that might already be taken care of.
Oh shit!
Father, forgive me. No,
am I wrong?
Don't shove it in my mouth again, Father.
Whoa! Okay,
yeah,
it's off topic here. Wow,
it's like Cruel Intentions, literally. Like, you know what I mean?
always wanted one of those necklaces that you could dip the thing in for the cocaine. I don't need the cocaine, but I just wanted one of those necklaces because they'd be fun.
You just wanted to have Sarah Michelle's little necklace.
Yeah, you could put what's the sugar candy that's powder?
Oh, Pixie Sticks.
Yeah.
Well, I've got her Buffy the Vampire Slayer one still in its packet, actually. I'll just give it to Buffy now. Like, she may as well wear it when she's older. But it was like the proper, Silver Cross thing that she had.
I hope Buffy's not a mean girl.
Nice little shot.
No, she's not mean. She's too sensitive.
Have you met her father?
I'm mean. No, I'm mean, but I was turned mean. I was a nice person for a long time.
Not
mean. Right.
And then they turned me mean. Look at my makeup.
He'll send me a picture of a guy and be like, look at this dog. He's like, but she's got a nice package, so we're going to do it.
What? I missed half of that, and I think I'm glad I did.
It's okay. Look. It's like whatever.
Keep moving.
I've always said everybody is entitled to do their civic duty where you sleep with an ugly person once a year. I feel like it's the right thing to do. You pick somebody below you and you throw them a bone.
Yeah, that's what my husband does for me once a year.
Oh.
Katie, we need to have some interventions here with self-esteem.
Oh my God, I need to leave.
You thought I was going to pick on my husband. I switched it around.
Friday the 13th.
Yay!
Oh, hey.
Alrighty, so we're still doing this competition where we've only had 6 names dropped so far. But hey, that's plenty for a lobby. You know, what's Jeffrey doing? Is he like...
There's a fucking motion light that keeps going off.
You know, I haven't, I've been practicing, and I'm a little rusty still.
Should we play, not tonight, obviously, because, you need to, go to bed.
Yeah.
But we need to play in the next few days, because I'll look at what my roster is, because it's hard with the time difference. But this was Steve and I's little playthrough from the other day. Have you seen it yet?
Oh no, show me.
Oh gosh.
Talk about Miss Sally.
You ready?
I don't even know where I'm going because it's all black and grey. And I'm just
Oh, he's got
Oh,
Oh.
bastard!
right through the throat.
Oh,
Oh.
the uterus! The uterus! Fuck!
You're a final girl.
Was I the last bit?
Yeah, you died.
Oh.
Oh, the uterus!
All I could see was Luke's
Problem
hair in
there
that
is,
video. His
What?
fucking
Then
hair.
I'm in like a group chat with other players, and they're just thinking, "What the hell's wrong with this?"
You are,
person?"
yeah.
Like,
You guys,
What
guys
options were
don't
you in
understand.
playing that? My God.
you don't
You
understand.
have like hair extensions in? Like, was that all your hair?
They were,
that was my hair.
you know, they had originally invited me to play, and I was up, but you know, Arlo was up too, and he doesn't stop moving. So I said, you know, guys, I probably can't play because you know I'd start playing, and then the kid would probably go get into like chemicals or something. With my luck, but
That's why you need that brand that I have that's all healthy living where everything's all plant-based. Message me for more details.
Where are you
Walk-
getting these sponsors,
walk-
Jeffrey?
right in and also
Every week I
no.
have an ice soda. Why are we not sponsored by ice soda?
Exactly, Vera. Why aren't we?
I don't know.
You
So,
guys, that's not even
Luke, I
half-
couldn't
even
help
half
but
of it.
notice you were, you know, screaming about your uterus in the game. Well, now you know how I feel, you know, every month when that time rolls around. But anyways,
Well, look,
Hey,
it was
do
a
you-
brief encounter for me, but I felt it.
He does full, like you'll miss out, but he does full character monologue sometimes, and that's very entertaining.
I
Well, like
do. See, that's
like I
why you
told
need to be on the game, guys. Like, I carry on like a full-blown lunatic, and I love it. Like, you know, it's my little outlet in life. If I can run around as some girl in an 80s pantsuit and carry on like some mad person being hunted by a serial killer, then why not go for gold? Why
No
not?
matter how equal we become, you're welcome to do whatever you want.
Vera,
Thank
you know,
Vera.
What?
horror movies have been very, very strong in feminism, and the final
What?
girl.
Women
The
died
final,
first.
I'm just saying, the final girl is proof of feminism in horror. And
Well, that's
No,
part of the
no.
Lisa
She
Wilcox.
Nice. She's just
She
one
was
more
here.
dumb idiot.
We
I'm
gotta
just-
see
No.
titties. We don't ever get to see dick in horror movies. It's a letdown.
The girl who survives
true.
is always someone who's very smart,
Mhm.
very charismatic, very.
Not true. Not true.
No, all of them have had big titties. No,
No.
no.
Let me give an
But
example.
like, you know,
Let me give an example. You're next. That was a fantastic final girl. She was I think she was an Aussie actually. She was,
Charlie Vincent, she was a yes.
well, I mean, her character. I think she was raised in the outback, and she had a survival skills. She was
Yes.
tough. She didn't get naked. She wasn't scantily dressed. She was just a badass.
I
Tough.
forgot about Nev Campbell. We have not seen her tatas.
And she's a badass too. But that's the point.
yeah, exactly. I think
It-
Nevi's
it-
pretty.
You never saw Jamie Lee
though.
Curtis either.
You never saw Jamie Lee
It's
Curtis.
true.
Not
You
in
know,
that
though,
movie, at least.
Nev Campbell wasn't that much of a badass because Kevin Spacey had her ass killed in that Netflix show.
Mm.
Spoiler
Now look
alert.
what Kevin Spacey is.
Yeah,
Look
what she did
But
in
you know what?
movies now,
That's
Made
what
up
the
for a lot of
Democrats
things.
need to whip those Republicans into shape. He needs to call them up and blackmail their asses like he did on that show.
I never watched House of Cards. I'm gonna
All
have
right.
to here.
Here's a little inappropriate rant. Who thinks Lindsey Graham, or as I like to call her, Lady G, has dick pics somewhere that somebody's holding against her, making her vote with all these idiots?
They all have dick pics. They all
I
have
don't
dick
think she
pics.
has a dick.
Every single one of them. They've got a mistress. They've got dick pics. It's all out there.
I think Lindsay
It's
has a
somewhere.
vagina.
What's wrong
I
with
like
a
to call her
vagina?
Lady G.
Nothing's really wrong with a vagina. I'm just saying. I think that's what the secret is, and that's the pictures they're holding.
I think. Well, was
I
it
don't think
Lindsay?
Lindsay has a vagina. I think she has a mangina.
Yeah,
Not tough enough to have a vagina. Got to be honest
that's,
here.
you know, you're right. That's true. She's
Wasn't-
really not.
Wasn't
Maybe she's a hermaphrodite.
Wasn't he whining about not having a whole lot of money raised or something like that?
Oh, yes,
Well,
he was. Well,
maybe
Susan
he should
Collins
look
was
in the
also
mirror.
whining about all the people the Planned Parenthood Action Committee who raised $1 million to get her out of office because she confirmed Kavanaugh.
Well,
She was whining about it. It's bribery. They're buying into the system.
listen, when you piss off the people that vote for you, this is what happens. And that is my only solace about the Supreme Court judge getting voted and probably confirmed. My only solace is that Senate's going to flip so fast it's going to make their fucking head spin, and they're going to regret it. Hey, it happened in 2018. We did it in 2018. We can do it in 2020. It's going to flip. I got to hold on to something. I can't hold on to the presidential election, and I can't hold on to the Supreme Court judge, but man, I can dream about that Senate flipping, because that is the most
well, if the Senate does flip, even if we don't hold on to the presidency, that mofo's going down.
Oh, he's not going to have he's going to have another bad 4 years because, the Senate flipped and he can't get shit through. What's up?
Blah, blah. It's the Democrats' fault. I'm so good. I'm amazing. Look at my awesome face. I get my foundation at the dollar store. It's called Peach Blossom.
I just don't, politics aside, what makes him think that's a good look? Like, who told him that? Who told him?
This man is so totally vain, and he doesn't have a mirror.
Seriously, and it's not even filled in properly. Like, you can see the pale bag under his eyes.
The makeup artist.
I think it's spray tan.
You've got so much money, you don't have to look at that. Like, I would look so much better than this bull crap right now if I had that money.
Even with your purple hair.
He sits there and calls women pigs, and then he wears those freaking tennis shorts that you can see his depends through.
Oh, please, you're come on,
His grandpa bloomers.
Oh,
Vera.
My gag reflex. Come on.
I opened Facebook today, and Christine Elise shared this close-up photo of Trump, right? And I had my coffee, and it just scared the shit out of me. I spit the coffee out, and I was like, "Bitch, you're trying to kill me? What are you doing? I don't want to see his ugly mug."
Is it the one of him in the tennis shorts with his ass?
No, it's an up-close photo of his face. It was horrifying. It was the worse than any scary movie I've ever seen. It was just,
no.
Girl, I mean, that man, he needs Jesus in the worst way.
Not related to Trump, but it's been talked about a lot lately, and I'm going to called old and whatever. What is this fascination with gray sweatpants on men? No, let me finish this. I know why people are obsessed with it.
Girl.
No. Listen, I know why they're obsessed with it. But what is appealing about a meat hanger? Just
well, honey, the thing is, the gays didn't let the secret out. Somebody told their fag hag who let the secret out. And now it's a problem because people know what we're doing.
I just think it's kind of gross.
Honey, sometimes you like to look at a nice piece of meat.
But I don't.
And you want to know what you're getting into before you hit the gym shower.
Where do we stop body shaming? If someone's really in good nick, then they can look really good in those outfits. But it's the same as T-Rex and Orgasmo. Did she really look nice in that bikini?
I'm not body shaming.
It's just window shopping. It's window shopping.
Fine. I had to ask the gays. This is why I asked.
It's window shopping. Yeah, you just got to.
I agree, Katie. There's
Show me what you're working with.
You got to look right. No, I agree with Katie. If you're gonna wear something, you look right. And Katrina and I have had this.
Better have a big dick.
Plenty of times as well. If you're gonna wear something skimpy, you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. You just don't go out not looking right. And it's just the end of the day. That's just it.
No
body shaming, nothing like that. Just make sure it looks like it should be there.
Because
there
when you see a guy,
full-figured girls who do rock bikinis pretty well.
Exactly, Vera. Vera's got my back.
That rock across top way better than I ever could.
Yeah.
I mean, they look amazing.
If you can get it off, if you can wear it with confidence and it makes you feel good,
and that's it.
Don't be letting your gut hang out.
Right.
No.
If your gut's hanging out and you can own it, I'm okay with it too.
Oh no.
that Way Thor. I love her. She just doesn't give a fuck, and she looks great. Her confidence is the best look on her. She is just. I love her. She's awesome, and she's hilarious too. She's just.
See, that's the
You know
thing
what I've
about
been-
these gray sweatpants. You know what? If you look and all you see is balls,
I'm just okay. I don't know. There's just something about just like meat swinging that's really unappealing to me. Okay, and
where's Katrina? She'd be doing it too.
to each his own, guys. To each his own.
Treat it
And
like a clown now. You know when you throw the balls in at the fair.
listen, to each his own. To each his own. If you guys are loving it, I support you for it. And the guys wearing the gray sweatpants, if you feel good in your gray sweatpants and you feel confident and happy, you let your meat swing. I'm happy
I
for you.
still want on the gay
I won't
dating
judge you.
apps, I want
Exactly.
them to verify people by their dick size because I feel it's not fair and it's false advertisement for these
Katie.
dudes to send the big penis photos, the BDE, and then it's just like, oh, that's
Katie,
cute.
no, I have to tell you, you're worried about the grey sweatpants. Like I've literally been to events, GLBT events, where I've seen people that are, quite aged, wearing like leather G-strings and like laying down urinals and stuff. So, when I see someone in sweatpants, for me, that's nothing. I'm just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
maybe it's just because I'm getting old and I'm married and I'm just kind of meh. But I used to date guys in skinny jeans for the exact same reason. So
Hey, I still wear skinny jeans.
Pride events where I've seen senior citizens in chainmail vests and shit. But if you're willing to wear it, go ahead.
What do
Hey,
you
look,
think went
whatever
on?
makes you happy in life, though. Hey, life's short. If you want to do it,
Yeah.
do it, guys. Like,
Do it.
Don't
Yeah.
worry about what some bitch says on uncensored radio in a blue shirt.
the world's probably going to end tomorrow. Do what makes you happy. That's my final thing.
Yeah.
Why? Is the music assignment due?
Well, look,
I
speaking
hate
of
that
like
bitch.
world
What do you
ending,
got to do? Write a Baroque opera? Jeez.
this is for you, Katie.
Yes.
Your favorite girl.
I haven't been watching this, but I hear she's not doing so well. But people love her cat theme.
She
Like,
looks
they
like
No,
a star.
Carol's not doing well, but she's completely doing the list that Uncensored Radio put up with all the songs. She's going through our list.
And
So
she's
you're
wearing
welcome,
cat costume.
Carol.
Carol,
She does suck.
Call me
She
Carol.
does suck.
Well, what was her last dance? Like, what was the one to What's
Eye of
New
the
Pussycat?
Tiger.
It was I.
No, Eye of the Tiger was a
she
Patrick
did something
Noble.
else.
What
But,
did she do to... No, it was What's New Pussycat by Tom Jones, which we
Yeah,
predicted.
but
as
I don't
well.
remember what she did. It might have been a tango, but she sucked.
I think it was like...
She moves like she's got two left feet.
every
looks
article
like a
I've
stone.
read, like that Nev
Maybe
Schulman.
Waltz.
They said his hips don't lie, which
Oh,
the man is beautiful, so I can see how that would go.
Did he wear gray?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I've
watch
never
Dancing
seen
with
it.
the Stars. If you want me to really kind of put myself out there for our viewers, I'm usually in bed by now, so I don't watch a whole lot. Of TV.
oh look, quickly,
I
guys, too.
confess I've watched Dancing with the Stars intermittently for the last 40 years, but maybe I
There
do
was
watch.
somebody I
They're
liked on it.
one of my guilty pleasures.
My guilty pleasures are, as of late, have been that 90-Day Fiance. I love that Big Ed.
I haven't watched that one.
What I started?
What did
Schitt's
you-
Creek.
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
loves Schitt's Creek.
Except
Everyone
the
loves
house.
Schitt's Creek.
Is way nicer than the shitty motel they're in, but the community, like the episode where he's like, oh, Bob's brother Carl died, and they're like, oh, Carl looked real funny. And he's like, I don't know, Carl. And they're like, would you be what's the people to hold the casket? And then he's like, well, could you say a few words? I didn't know him. Could you say so? He would be so touched. He was so fond of you. That's what happened here a weekend. I'm like, I don't know him.
They swept the Emmys, didn't they?
What?
They
Yeah,
swept
yeah.
the Emmys. They
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I've been
And,
watching
It's a great show. I haven't watched it past the second season, I think, so I need to like have a binge.
Dan,
I
I
I
never
watched
liked him.
I watched
Never.
it, but I want to talk about Versace. Have you guys watched Versace?
No.
Oh, with
One more
Derek
thing about the
Cross.
Emmys I want to mention. I want to mention one more thing about the Emmys. Zendaya made history by being
Yeah.
the youngest woman to get the best actress.
For
Yeah.
Euphoria.
The
Youngest.
drama.
Youngest. And Zendaya is awesome. I love
That
her.
show is fucking crazy. They
Yeah.
had Eric Dane McSteamy, right? Wasn't that he was McSteamy, right? With a prosthetic cock on, banging some hooker.
Hey, quick question. Was that one better than Mark Wahlberg's?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it
okay.
looked real. I thought
right,
it was real.
all right,
I had to go like read an interview. I was like, "Ooh, McSteamy, I'm good." But I mean, we already saw his dick in that little porno he did with his wife, Rebecca, there, and
Rebecca
some other
Gayheart.
girl. Yeah.
Oh,
Or
they
his
did a
ex-wife.
porno.
Yeah, they had a
Is this
sex
true?
tape. Yeah,
They had a threesome.
It was
Oh,
Darling.
this is old news.
I
Why
missed
Not
not?
the
that.
most
We've been
controversial
running
things
over
he's
kids.
done.
You know
New
what?
York
That's
one.
what 2020 needs to break up the monotony. We need a good old sex tape release.
I know.
Who's going to do it?
Maybe John Travolta will do it with his boyfriend.
I vote Jeff makes one.
Me?
I
Oh,
categorically,
honey,
I
they're already
categorically
out
vote
there.
against that.
They're already out there. I was much thinner and in better shape, and I could do the gay Olympics. So it's
Well, you
it's
know,
fine.
a lot of sex tapes released here are like football players, like rugby league players, and they're all like coming out of the woodwork. It's great, you
Are
know,
you doing,
whatever they
Jack,
want
are
to
you
do.
doing the Thriller dance?
Yes, bitch, trying to turn that light back on.
All right.
I'm in
Oh,
Schitt's
look,
Creek.
quickly, I just wanted to do a shout out quickly for my friend. Like the campaign's only got an hour left. She is winning.
Yes. Yes.
Yay!
She is
So my friend
gorgeous.
Haiti is #1 to be the Maxim's cover girl. So she'll be the cover of Maxim magazine here in Australia. Haiti is transgendered. I auditioned with her for Big Brother, and we were both shortlisted, and we were both meant to be on the show, and then we got emails at the last minute saying that they decided not to cast us. So it was a bit mean. But yeah, she's doing really well in this campaign. I mean, you can tell she deserves it. I mean,
Look
her
at the
body.
ass on that
Yes.
woman. My God. It's beautiful.
Boop, 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 over that ass too fat.
So
Listen,
yeah, all you've got to do.
I have a Hank Hill ass. It is flat. It's non-existent. So man, I can appreciate a really
They're
nice
like a
ass
little
when
egg
I see
crack,
one.
Eddie. A little crack in the egg.
It's just gotten worse with the coronavirus because I can't go to the gym. So when I was working out, I had like something. I got nothing now. I'm giving Hank Hill a run for his money.
Gabe's
The
ass
link
hangs
there is
out.
au.maximcovergirl.com 2020. And vote for Haiti. You get a free vote with a Facebook account every day. It's closing in an hour, like from this show. So
Go vote.
go ahead and vote for her.
I'm gonna get off here and go
She's
vote
winning
for her
already,
again.
but you know, I want to make sure she wins. So
She's gonna come on and say hi to us because we helped her win.
absolutely, she will come on. Actually, she wants to come on for a special show that we'll do in the future about you know, like transitioning and just
Awesome.
gender roles in society.
Awesome.
And there'll be a serious show. We'll get Sandy on that one too, and we'll have some serious discussion.
Jeff doesn't have as much fun with the serious shows.
I want to see her.
I
vagina.
know Jeff needs like a
Stop
big
that.
show where we just
Every person I know that's transitioned, I've gotten to see a few, and they're pretty.
well, you're spending money, girl. Would you spend money on your house if
Right,
it wasn't
they
going to look better?
They have a broke down vagina. No, and then the one's like, I had it fixed so it's as tight as can be.
Oh,
I thought my
gosh.
finger was gonna fall off. I'm just.
Is
gonna
this
say it.
someone I know? Is this someone I may have met?
Maybe.
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 Very beautiful,
Maybe.
statuesque blonde. Okay, we'll talk later off air.
You know, I should have mentioned this when we were talking about the nudes, but it just the vagina talk and the nudes just brought the story up. So when Arlo was born, Kyle was taking all these pictures of, you know, the scale and all that. And I'm looking at the pictures the other day and I realized, oh my God, Kyle's got me spread eagle in the background and you can see everything.
How many times has that happened to so many people? It's like the photos and in the background, like
And
the
then
poor
we
mother
sent
is
them to
giving birth.
people.
That's the art.
Picture the people.
I just shared that article. The teachers are saying they're seeing parents naked, smoking around their kids, drinking it first thing in the morning. And
This is not someone walking around pantsless after like their cup of coffee, Jeff. This is like 12 hours of labor, and my vagina is wrecked.
I was there when my foster daughter gave birth. I was holding her leg up as the head was coming out. You know what I'm saying? That is the craziest shit I have ever seen, and it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
That's the first time I have 2 kids. That's the first time I ever saw it. Like they were telling me, "You want a mirror?" No.
I have been present at multiple births, and all I can say is every birth is the grossest thing on freaking earth.
Oh no!
Baptism,
Amen. No, it is.
And if all the Christians talk about intelligent design, fuck that. Intelligent design is a motherfucking zipper.
It is disgusting. No, the end result's amazing. The end result's amazing. That first moment you've got your child in your arms, it's amazing. But then you realize they're covered in everything, and it's disgusting.
The thing that tweets me out was really the
miracle of life is disgusting.
The placenta coming out. There, I was like, she got another one in there. I knew it was twins, and they're like, no, it's the placenta. And I was like, oh.
I feel like that was
the placenta is veiny and gross, and it looks like liver, and it just. Oh, I will never do OBGYN again as long as I live.
Well, after that got out there, I'm sending out my messages to my friends, delete that picture now. And one friend politely told me, Katie, if you had never pointed that out, no one would have saw. I said, I can't take that chance. I can't take it.
No, you can't, because that comes back to haunt you later. Well, let's
get my hands on that photo.
So Cammie sent a little shout out for our show.
Have you checked out Uncensored Radio? They cover everything from politics, pop culture, the news, and even fat people being rescued. You never know when Jeff is in the mood. Tune in for Uncensored Radio.
Thinking that should be our intro for a while.
I have a suggestion.
Oh, we lost Vera.
I have a suggestion.
She thought the show was over. So did I.
Oh, no, I was about to play the credits after that.
Well, hold on. I have a suggestion, as we're promoting things. Now, I know we always promote, you never know when Jeff's going to go off. But I think we need to start going, you'll never know when Vera's going on a rant, because she's getting kind of famous for these.
Yeah. She is. Vera's like a little fiery little...
I feel like we need a Vera promo. You never know when Vera's going on the rant.
I think we need to do it to the Bring It On theme. You remember? Like, I'm still Big V.
Yeah.
And then just have yes.
Yes. Sorry, Jeff. She's
good at the cheer routine.
It's fine. I don't hate the music teacher that much. Not yet. Though we did get into a little tiff. We got into it a little bit on the community message board in the class. I kind of called her out, and then she was like, well, I had hoped the caregivers would be there to read the exams to them because I would be doing it in the class. Well, lady.
On
that note, should we play our final credits now that the Vera thought the show had ended?
We're forgetting something. Something. There's a video you're forgetting.
What did I forget?
There's
one. This one?
Go!
Oh! The best part of that.
I know the one you actually meant. It was this one.
I'm sorry. Look, you can see the crack in the floor.
The best part of the other video is still. Are you okay?
Are you okay? Like, okay. She's not.
No, she's not okay.
We've got to find the Mike video again. We've lost that video.
No,
How did
I just watched the whole thing.
I watched it this week. Yeah.
I need it. Send me the copy, and it will just be part of like our bumpers. We'll just have it like in between stuff, like Mike.
I'm still looking for my my busting my ass on the hoverboard thing. I can't find it yet, but
you better find it, girl. Because
I'm kind of hoping that's buried deep in the depths of hell.
Right now. The world needs it right now.
I mean, it's probably inappropriate. I probably said something really inappropriate as I fell on my ass.
Oh, Jeff snapped. Look. All right. Closing credits, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.